In 3 years, I went from looking like a skinny bitch to now looking like an aesthetic V-tape of physique that has gotten me 2 girlfriends over the past 2 years. Therefore, in this video, I'll tell you the most important steps that I have learned over the past 3 years, so you don't have to use thousands of hours on research just like I have done. My promise to you is that if you follow these steps, you'll know exactly how to get a girlfriend. So step number 1 is that don't overcomplicate things. So there's a story that I want to tell you, and that was when I first started out by training at the gym. I always used to look at like YouTube and searching up popular guys like Jeff Nippert about what exercises would be the best to target certain muscles. And then when I tried out the exercises that they showed, I always felt kind of off. I didn't really know why exactly, but I was just like, you know what? This exercise is fucking bullshit. Why the fuck is somebody with like millions of followers saying that this is the best exercise? After literally years of experimenting with all of these different exercises that they showed, for example, it would be lat pull over. It could be like an overhead tricep extension, like laying on a bench with an incline. All these different complicated things. And all of a sudden I thought to myself, why don't I just do what I found is fun? So for the triceps, I like to do skull crushes with an easy bar. And for my chest, I like to do an incline pressing movement. I don't really like to do a fucking decline bench press. And that's actually for the first time where I actually began to enjoy my workouts. Like I was actually so excited to come to the gym because I knew that I was going to train an exercise that I really enjoyed doing because it was so easy to put up and it just felt good on the muscles. I could really feel like the soreness. It was just amazing. And that's why the lesson I learned is to just keep it simple. And if you want me to make a workout plan for you so you can know exactly how to train for aesthetics so you can get a girlfriend, then go check the top link in the description. All the details are there. An actionable step that I have for you is that you just need to try out 2 to 3 different exercises for that muscle group. So for example, for your chest, experiment with a flat bench, experiment with an incline pressing movement, experiment with dips, for example, or a fly, and those are the 3 that you literally just test out. Then you see for which certain muscle parts that you like the most. So for example, for me, I tried a fly from low to high for like my upper chest. And then I tried an incline pressing movement for my upper chest. And I figured out, you know what, I like the incline bench pressing movement more with dumbbells, so I'm gonna do that. Then for my lower chest, for example, I figured out that I like a fly more than I like a dip, so that's why I just do a fly and not a dip. And the way that you can kind of rate the exercise so you know which one is the most simple one to use is literally just by checking off these 3 things. So first of the things is the comfortability. So how comfortable is the exercise for you? For example, if you had to do this exercise for like 1 or 2 years, could you still be doing it with a smile on your face every single time that you had to do it? Or would you think, oh, this is kind of like a fucked up exercise. I kind of hate it. Like it takes too much time to set up all of these different things. The second thing is, how much does it burn? Like, does it burn when you do it, or do you just feel exhausted? I don't know if you have tried ever when you started out at the gym and then you try to do an exercise and then all of a sudden it doesn't really target like your muscles, but you just feel exhausted after the set. That's when you know that you're not really training for like muscle growth or anything. You're just wasting your energy and time. Then for the third thing is just overall enjoyment. How much do you actually enjoy doing the exercise? Are you fucking blasting some music and then you're just sitting fucking rocking your head like this like before you have to do the exercise? Because that's what I do. I fucking love every exercise that I do, and that's why I've been able to stay consistent and actually train 2 times a week full body every single weekend for the past like 3 years. And if you want to get this consistency as well and to know exactly how to train for this aesthetic body, so as I said, you can get a girlfriend and you can get multiple girls who will have this attractive, lustful looks towards you, then I will highly recommend you to subscribe to this channel, because that is exactly what I teach about. But anyway, now let's go to the step number 2, which is intensity and recovery, and why it's such an important thing if you actually want a girlfriend. So that's a story that I want to tell you. So I go to the gym every like Tuesday and Friday. And whenever I take my bike up to the gym, I'm so excited for this, right? So excited to train. And then whenever I come up to the gym, I'm in this positive mood. And when I go to do an exercise, I do it till I fucking drop dead, basically, right? Like out of breath. I'm like, fuck, this hurts so much. Like I couldn't even lift my arms after like an exercise. Then all of a sudden I just looked towards the side of me and I was like, yeah, I've definitely pushed harder than this fucking guy over here. And I look over and they are fucking scrolling on TikTok. Not only are they scrolling on TikTok, then when they did their exercise, they literally dropped the phone, they took the weight up, did some bicep curls, and then they just did it for some reps, and then they were like, and then they just dropped it, took their phone again like a subhuman, and then they just mouth breathing throughout the whole workout. I was like, what the fuck? Is this literally my competition? Is this literally how people think that they're gonna grow? I was like, what the fuck, bro? When you do an exercise, let me tell you a secret. You need to do it till failure. Literally where the weight doesn't come upwards anymore. It literally starts to go downwards. That's when you know that you have pushed that set to failure. And the reason why I say that this is so important for getting a girlfriend is because if you don't push yourself to failure, you're not gonna make muscles. If you're not making muscles, girls are not gonna be attracted to you by a first glance. So obviously, train to fucking failure. Don't be a pussy when you're at the gym, right? Like, we want to fucking push ourselves. But like, of course, I understand if you're tired after working and all this shit, it makes sense that you can't really push yourself that hard. Of course, then that's just better that you actually come to the gym and do something instead of not doing anything at all. But still, come on, bro. When you're at the gym, just train to fucking failure. Don't be a pussy, please. So the actionable step that I have for you is to actually just train less. Train 2 to 3 times a week, full body trainings, and then only be at the gym for like 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's the most amount of time that you can be at the gym and still have high intensity without having a fatigue or plague. That's actually a story that I want to tell as well about this, right? So I used to train 5 times a week, literally 5 times a week. I was literally known at this kind of school. It was like a school that I was staying at and living with people, right? And then there was a gym right beside and you could go and train, you could train with your classmates and all this, right? Whenever I came to that training session, every single time for like the week, 4 times a week, everybody knew me for that guy who was overtraining basically. Like I was there for like 2 to 3 hours per session and I was literally training 4 times per week. That is 4 times 3, that is 12 hours. So I was training 12 hours a fucking week at the gym. That is way too much time, right? And when I figured this out, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why didn't I listen to them before? And I started to cut my training down to do only 2 to 3 times per week so I could have more intensity in my training. And that's when I started to see results. And that's when I started to get a girlfriend because again, my physique just looked overall better. It didn't look kind of floppy, like I had kind of like a little bit of a big stomach, but I didn't really have any muscles, so it was like I looked ugly basically, right? But now I look fucking aesthetic, lean 6-pack, lean muscles, but still being big, right? It's perfect. So that's why I just want you to train between 2 to 3 times a week, full body, and only be at the gym for 45 minutes to 60 minutes every single time. And again, if you now think, but what workout should I be doing? Oh, this is too complicated. I have the solution for you. Again, that's why I have a course, and that's why go and click the top link in the description if you want to get this aesthetic physique, so you can fucking attract some fucking girls, bro. I cracked the secret for this. I know I can teach it to you as well. So go down and click the top link in the description. All the details are there, as I said before. And I really hope that you got some value out of this video. And if you want to get more of this advice, then I will highly, as I said before, recommend you to subscribe to this channel so I can make you into like an aesthetic fucking Greek god. So girls, literally wherever you walk, right? Imagine when you have that fucking tight shirt on, like that's what I have, right? And then when I walk, literally girls are literally just like kind of staring at me. There was a time, a quick story that I want to end this video with was that when I was at the beach for like a week ago, right? So I walked with my friend and I had my shirt off and was just walking around, right? Because it was at the beach. There was a car on the side of the road. So it was the road was close to the beach. There was a young girl, like around my age, she looked like, right? She was driving with her father. And I just saw quickly, because I looked towards the car, because I saw it was a girl, right? She looked at me and she was like, giving that sexy up and down look, like that elevator look, or what they call it. It's just a good story to tell, because that could literally be you, bro, if you just fucking got the physique that I got. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah.